everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I wanted to remind you that this catalog, the Celebration catalog, we're halfway through it. So hopefully you've got half the stuff that you want by now, because it does end at the end of September. If you don't have a copy of it, or if you don't have a copy of this, or if you don't have a copy of our annual catalog, let me know, and I'd be happy to send you one if you're in the US and you don't have another demonstrator that you already purchased from. So even if you just want to have a look, like if you stumbled upon my videos and you're like, oh, that looks kind of interesting, I'd love to send you one. So this one ends at the end of September, and this one we have till the end of December. So we've got a while on this one yet. But this one, everything, and it's free. So you'll purchase 50 or 100 different levels of stuff. And for every 50 and every 100, you get one. So you can keep getting more. The penguin paper that is in this goes with the penguin bundle I'm using today, but it will be gone at the end of September. So if the penguin stuff's kind of on your list, at least get the paper before it's gone. And then I am going to use the penguin bundle that's out of the mini catalog. Super cute. Has a stamp set and a punch. So when I started this card, I'll tell you a couple of different things. When I started the card, my intent was, because it's a punch bundle, and I do have an online class, and the registration's coming up, the closing on it really soon. The class takes place in September. I always have to think about my months. They go so fast. I'm like, how can it already be September? But the registration will end in August. So with this class, you get the stamps, the penguin punch, a full pack of the paper that matches it, a half a pack of 3x3 envelopes, a full pack of acetate 3x3 boxes, and a full package of in color sequins. And then from that, we will make 4 3D-ish kind of projects. And the project I'm making for you today is 3D-ish. So it'll give you kind of an idea of what we're doing. So when I did this card, I didn't have my cut and emboss machine out, because I know a lot of times when you buy these things, you like the punches and you might not have an embossing machine. I'm going to add an extra thing at the end just because I couldn't stop myself, but it doesn't have to be there. So this, if you are interested in my online class, just go to my website and all the details will be there. Or if you're on my email list, that's the best way to get all my details, and you can go to my website and sign up there. So let me show you. These are a couple of other things I've already done with the penguin. If you've missed them, all of these tutorials are up. So this one has the fuzzy paper. I stamped on the fuzzy paper, so he's a little glittery penguin with a fuzzy little igloo. This one here, I used the penguin and I did the Halloween paper, but I flipped it over to the non-Halloween side. So it's a cute little birthday card. And then this one I just did, and it has embossing, so we got that fun kind of ice on it. And then I stamped him. He's embossed too, so he's shiny. So there's 3 different ways already to use it, and I'm going to show you a 4th. None of these are in the class. When I do an online class, only the people in the class or my team, because my team gets all my classes for free. They're the only ones that get to see them. So my idea was, if you look in the Celebration catalog, some of my things are stuck up at the top. There we go. There is a sample that they've done, and they have put him in here. So that's probably going to make an appearance in my class. So I thought, oh, do I show it? I can always switch it up, right? But then as I started going, this required a die, because this takes the die. And if you do the class, I'll already run the die cuts through for you. So then I thought, oh, I wonder if he fits in the mason jar punch. So he does fit in the mason jar punch. Just, you can't put accessories in with him like you might be able to in the cloche. And I do have a cloche class coming up. That will be my next one that registration's for. So it's a super simple card. So easy and so adorably cute. Because the penguin and the paper are going to be the star of our show. In fact, my online retreat, you can tell where my mind starts going. My fall retreat is in October, but signups will start soon in September. And all of the retreat, every card's going to have a special way to use specialty paper. I love our specialty papers. So for this, if you haven't seen our ombre paper, it's 12 by 12. It's 12 by 12 Glimmer ombre. So it starts down from, well, I cut some off. It starts from like greeny apple green and then goes all the way to mango maybe. Is the color on the end. So it kind of has all the colors. So it's 12 by 12 in ombre, which unless you're going to make a ginormous card and it's going to be 12 by 12, then you kind of have to pick your color. So the card I'm going to do now is going to be in the pink hues, and the sample I've already done is in the blue hues. So that way I'll be able to show you both. So what you want to do, I lay my 12 by 12 paper on there, and then I always cut off some of the ends because that way you get more colors. It's up to you. It does waste a little bit of paper, but as you can see, you can use these strips. I'm going to use those for something else. So take your mason jar punch. You know, a ton of you have this because it's been around for a minute. And then the other thing you have to decide with the ombre paper is, do I want the base of my card to have more pinks or more yellows? Because once you cut it out, I kind of like where this orange is, and see I'm going to lose more of that. The pinks don't have so much of a gradient change. So flip that over here and just punch it. And it's upside down because we're making, you know, a lot of kids at Christmas, they make those things for the, for their parents, where you shake stuff up and they fill it with Christmas things. That's where I kind of got the idea for this. Well, it started with the cloche, but then I thought, you know, the mason jars work. So I have this, I have my white base here. I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm just going to lightly trace the top and the sides so I know where I'm working with. So got that. That's a little much there, Cheri. Whenever I do it for you guys and it's on the angle, there we go. And then I'm going to take our black glimmer paper, and this is a similar penguin that I did on the other card because he has black glimmer, but I'm not going to use the fuzzy paper. There's no reason to. He's going to be inside the cloche. I mean inside the mason jar, so there's no reason to have specialty paper inside that you can't touch. And he just lost his arm. But you know what? His arms don't fit in there anyway, so I think we're good. I should not have been talking. I should have been looking at what I was doing. And then this is the strip that got saved from my other, when I cut these pieces down. So I'm just going to get him some feet. How would he look with some green feet? Could he have on green shoes? You know, it's your card. You can do whatever you want. I know some people are purists and they only like to do colors in things that they come in nature. I'm not that kind of person, so sometimes I do odd ones, but let's just go with this little shade of pink over here. And I'm just trying to get just his feet. I mean, a little snips of it are going to get it the right color, but that way you're not wasting your paper. And then we need his body in just some whisper white or basic white. They changed names on us and it's hard to remember. I've been doing this for 27 years. That's a lot of colors to remember. So that now we're going to take the stamps. So out of this set, I don't even know if I showed you the set. I think I did. I'm just going to use some of the accent pieces. So we're going to go with happy birthday. It's going to be a birthday card. You could easily change this to be a Christmas card. And then I'm going to use the stand-up one because he didn't fit in here very well. I think he would fit in the other one. And then the snowflakes. So let's get his eyes first. Let's do his eyes. And you're just going to stamp on this little white piece. So we have his eyes, and then while I've got the black open, I'm just going to take a little scrap piece of this because the happy birthday that comes in this is teensy tiny. Just stamp that on there. And then I'm just going to trim that out with my hands because we learned how to do that in kindergarten. So it's a skill we should keep doing. It doesn't have to be cut straight because it's so teensy tiny. And then I have the Magenta Madness. See, I told you I'm not a purist when it comes to colors. If you feel like he must have a beak that is orange, then go for your pumpkin pie or even your pale papaya. This card really needs a brighter color because we're working with all that fun paper. So see, it looks like she just has on some lipstick because in my world, the penguins can wear lipstick if they want to because, you know, they're already black glitter ones. So have fun with your colors. We have lots of colors to have fun with. And then I'm going to take Granny Apple Green, see I told you, and I'm going to make my snowflakes in Granny Apple Green. Now the other card I'm going to show you has different shakers and different colors because I had that, the other gradient of the paper that started with purple and goes down to the blue. Now with this, you want to make sure you get lots of snowflakes in there because once you stick your little penguin guy in, I guess mine's a penguin girl because I put lipstick on her, it covers up a lot of it. So put as many as you can fit over that little place that we just drew the circle. Super easy. Now let's put our penguin together first. For this card, I'm just going to use Steel Plus. It will hold so much better when working with the Glimmer paper. but it also works better if you stick it onto the regular cardstock because it can catch sometimes. And sometimes I know people have problems with their Seal Plus. If you try this on here, like if I roll it and it doesn't take, that means it hasn't stuck to the paper. It has rolled itself onto the back of there. And then it starts sticking to itself inside. And that could be why. Make sure if it didn't stick to your paper that you kind of twist it back around and get it to where it needs to go. So now we're just gonna stick his little feet on here, and you can just lay it on here and then it pulls up a sticky. See, just like, well, maybe. I'm trying to show you and press, which is not the right way, but they come off in little strips. So just fold that around the strips. Stick that there. His poor little arm, but you're not gonna know. And then here's where my baseline is. So again, I'm gonna put my adhesive on here instead of on the, although the back of this Glimmer paper, the black, it sticks pretty well. I'm gonna scoot him over just a tad to make sure that his little arm is covered up. So now we've got the actual card. And then I've got this super fun ribbon. This is our black glittered organdy ribbon. It's from last year's holiday catalog. There is a white one that would look super cute on this if you had it, but I've used mine all up when I did my cabin class last week. So it took every last spool I had to send that out. And this one looks cute because it pulls in the color of the penguin, but if you don't have this year's, I mean last year's, and you have this year's, that would work too. In fact, there's a ton of, there are so many embellishments and so many sprinkles and so many ribbons because this pulls in a lot of our colors. Cut that there. And then here's our little mason jar shaker domes. So just pull one of these off. They have sticky on both sides. So the first side that we want to unsticky, well, I'm going to go ahead and put my ribbon first. This isn't the order I did it in when I made it before. No, I'm going to put this first. Sometimes when you make it and you don't know what your card's gonna look like, and then when I go to show you, I'm like, I think it'd be better to do it this way, but it's not the way I did it. This is the way I did it. Sometimes these are hard to get off, so here's a little secret. Just stab it with the edge of your snips and then see you can pull it instead of trying to separate it. Now this gets popped in here. And before you press down on it, just make sure it's all in and it's all in straight. So that punch does exactly around the little jar lid, and then just kind of push it down. And the reason we want to make sure we push it down, if you're not putting any shakers in this, you can only use one side of the tape. It doesn't have to be sealed well, but if it's not sealed well, then your shakies will fall out, and we don't want our little shakers to fall out. So let's put a little bit here, and see, this came off. This isn't as, the black's one of our older kind of Glimmer papers, I think. The more texture they have, the least likely the Seal Plus is to roll off. And I'm gonna put some back here. Just come back over here and flip this around. Just like this, so they stay stuck back there. And that's why I'm using Seal Plus. It holds really well. Then I'm gonna get this ready. Can I do it without my scissors? Why bother? And so now this is ready. Now for the shakies for the inside, this is the one I used on my other card, and these are in with the cabin as well. So there are subtle shimmer sequins, and they would look pretty because it's just gonna make it look like it's winter in there. But for this one, I'm gonna try this because this matches our paper. It didn't match so well. I mean, it did match on the other one. This has more of the same colors, and now you see why I went with the green, grainy apple green back here. So when you do a shaker card, okay, and here's, let's be honest. How many of you have some vials of these that are like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old because you haven't wanted to use them all? Use them up. Your card looks so much better when you actually use them. So just take it. And I mean, if you're giving somebody a shaker card already, it's already a special card. So don't skimp on your sprinkles. So I'm just gonna lay these in here and see, you do a nice little stack of them. And that's why I have this ready right here. And then I'm just gonna gently take my Seal Plus and kind of do a square around. And I wanna make sure I get right there where that ribbon is again, and then up here at the top. Oops, I'm trying to, always the angle where I do it for the camera is not the angle that I stamp on my own. Now again, I lined this up when I did my drawing, so it was square on the card, so I can look up there first. And before you push everything down, get this on. And then once that's on, you can push everything else. And then we have our tiny little happy birthday. And just put this on here. And I'm just gonna make a little banner with it. Just like this. Now I told you I had my cut and emboss machine and I didn't do it on this, so you can see that you don't have to. So I have two similar but different cards. But I did have this, and this is where I practiced to see if we could put these through the cut and emboss machine, and you can see it does fabulous. And I'm going to show you the other one in just a second so you can see it. So now since I have this and it's also the green, I'm just going to use it. And the nice thing is it has a nice straight line right here. So I'm going to cut that. And then I'm gonna add my tag right here. So I have two similar cards, but they both have a little bit of stuff that's different. And this is what you should do too. If you watch videos and you're like, I don't have all that stuff, that's okay, make it work with what you have. So you're gonna see you didn't, this doesn't, I'm covering up most of the embossing. The only main reason I'm using it is because it's that beautiful glimmer paper and I don't wanna waste it. You also end up with two fun jars that you can use on another project. So I'll show you the folder that I used. And see, this Seal Plus just holds so much better when we stick it onto this glimmer paper. The seal will work. If you have it though, my preference would be to use green glue if you don't have the Seal Plus. And this, I'll probably take a glue dot and kind of stick that under there. So let's shake those down. You see how much fun that is? If you don't have enough, it looks like it's something falling off on my card, but when you have enough, it's an obvious shaker. So super cute. You do not have to have a cut and emboss machine to make this card. But if you do, then you can take this folder here and you can take it and roll it through. Is that not super cool to have that pattern on there? It doesn't have to have it. It's just, if you do have it, you might as well use it. So you can see this one's a different color. I didn't have a scrap piece because I don't, although you know what? Use these. If you want to have a little backer on your thing, then use one of your jars that you've punched out. But this one has the other colors of sequins and then how that has gone through the folder. But both are super cute. You could fill it with all kinds of things. And I do know that some of you have some that are very old that you've been keeping around. So go over and see what little shakies you have and you can add those. So super quick, super cute. Kind of gives you an idea of, we'll do some cards, we'll do some ornaments. The penguin class is going to be real low key because anytime we don't have an cut and emboss machine, then we keep it lower key. Any embossing that needs to be done, I'll send to you so you don't have to have one. And the colors in the class obviously are going to match the paper that we're using, but you can kind of substitute for that too. So everybody have a great day and I will catch you back here later this week. Bye.